Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun.
So I'm ready for a vacation. I almost got killed on my way over here today.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was like this.
And how many miles are in between our houses? Like 4?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think. It's this stupid Corvette with Texas plates. Like, pretty much from my house to your house is all curves, hills, no passing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no passing.
And corn.
And corn. Like, you can go into the cornfield, which I almost did because I thought we were going to die. So this Corvette is behind me, and I see there's a car coming. There's a car in front of me, and this guy decides he's going to pass me. So I fucking slammed on my brakes like, are you crazy? And then the whole time he's trying to pass this guy. And I'm like, what? You can see cars coming. There's a stop sign. Like, we're 200 yards from a stop sign, and you're trying to pass this guy. So Texas plates, Corvette, black Corvette driving through Johnsburg, Illinois on whatever day is
You're
today.
reckless.
Fuck you.
You and your reckless driving.
Dude, he could have killed that oncoming car. He could have killed me. He could have killed the car in front of me. And then I'm thinking, because it's been crazy here lately, right? We had a kid killed at Jiffy Lube, which was such a sad story.
So sad.
We had a motorcycle accident the other day. That was drunk driving.
Julie and I witnessed an accident just a couple weeks ago.
What the frick is going on? People are so excited to get out of the house now, and they're being reckless, and I hate it. And I drive for a living, so please be careful.
Yeah.
Then I had to yell at people I didn't yell at them, but I hollered at them. This huge Coke semi, I'm pulling up next to it, and I see its tire is like ready to blow. It's like bam, 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 bam.
Oh, no.
And I like, ooh, and I get away from it, but then I'm making a right turn. He's making a left. So I get into the right-hand turn lane. I'm like, bro. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, your tire's ready to blow, you know?
Oh, wow.
Like, what the hell? Then I'm driving home, and I get up alongside this other car. I'm like, hey. And they roll down the window. I'm like, you have no brake lights.
Oh,
They're like, no brake lights? And then, of course, they get in front of a cop. I hate Mondays.
I think I Snapchatted everybody yesterday. I'm like, I just woke up.
Oh, my God.
No anxiety 3 hours later. Just kidding.
Just kidding. It's here. Full force. Hate my life. But I need a vacation.
Yeah.
I have one planned going up
night.
to the cabin, you know, so
nice.
Get away. The phone doesn't work up there.
Mm-hmm.
No social media.
Yeah. Do you know, when I worked for Peterbilt, they taught us that you walk around your truck.
Yes.
And you walk around, you know,
Yes.
So you check your tires,
Right.
you check your brakes, you check your, you know,
So I don't know if I told this story. My mom has been a truck driver for a long time, right? And she worked for this company. And she'd warm up her truck in the morning, and while it was warming up, she would walk around, do her inspection, make sure all of her lights are working, blah, blah, blah. So she had walked around and came up the driver's side from the back and got in, you know, checked everything, went to take off, and she's like, why isn't my truck moving?
Oh, no.
Well, the boss's wife had parked, like, right in front of her, like, parallel in front of her, and she was just, like, pushing the boss's wife's car. Like, why want to go? Why want to go? She couldn't see it, you know. In a big semi, you can't see what's directly in front of you. So she's like, oh, shit, I'm fired, you know.
Yeah.
Nope, here comes the boss, like, yelling at the wife. Why the F did
you park in
there?
front of a truck? Exactly.
My mom's like, oh, my God.
It's always the wife's fault.
Yeah. That was that lady. She was like 3'9" in a Ford Escape today.
Yeah. You gotta tell
so-
us that. That was. I love your Snapchat.
Of course, because I happened to be on lunch, sitting in my car. I just got to the store, and I'm like, I'm starving. I'm gonna eat my salad. I'm trying to like eat good, so I'm just hungry all the time.
I hate that.
I'll bring a nice healthy salad, and I'm like, God, Taco Bell is right there.
They have taco salads.
Oh God, it's so hard. Anyway, so I'm sitting in my car, and this lady comes pulling in, and the cart corrals at these stores are not just metal that you can move around.
No.
They are in concrete. They're like metal buildings.
They're bolted.
Like
They're bolted
sheds.
to concrete. Yeah.
And she comes pulling in, and she just crunch right into it with her passenger headlight.
Unbelievable.
And I see her like looking over, like, did I just hit that? And she backs up and it's like, like all, and I literally had my bowl of salad, mouth open, fork, like,
just staring
just
at her.
staring at her. And then I'm like, don't look at her. Don't let her be embarrassed. So she backs up, straightens out, pulls in, doesn't even look, just goes into the store. I'm like, what the hell? So then I start looking at her car and I'm like, oh, yeah. She's done that a few times.
Wow.
Like that headlight was all like, you can tell it's like moisture in there.
Hit a couple
broken.
corrals.
Like it's been like that she gets out of the car and she's like 3'9". Like no lie. I'm like, lady, you need a little like, I don't even know, like a little Subaru or something, like something not so big. I'm sure she feels safe up there, but like she can't see shit.
Yeah, you said it was an
we
SUV,
don't
right?
Feel safe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a huge freaking Escape or something. I mean, for me, an Escape isn't big. That's kind of like what I drive. It wasn't an Escapade. It wasn't a
Escapade.
What is that called?
Escalades.
You know what I meant. It wasn't like a huge, it wasn't a large SUV. It was a normal size SUV. She's just a really
It was just
little
a
lady.
small Escapade.
Yeah.
That's great.
God, I had so many adventures today.
You did.
And I was worried about having something to talk about tonight.
You're like, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, we got this.
Oh, God.
I'm not worried.
You have a story that was on
I do.
your
Actually,
Facebook
I have
memories.
too. Yeah. So I'll talk about that one in a second, but I want to go back to Peterbilt.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't do well with like anything. It takes me a while to learn
Come
anything.
on.
When it comes to driving. Well, I'm pretty good in cars and trucks, but
Right.
motorcycles, even just regular
God,
bicycles,
yeah.
I just have a hard time. I don't know. I get too nervous.
You're
so
not
anyways,
coordinated or you get scared?
I just get scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were teaching me how to drive a Peterbilt, and this is like the truck drivers will know it's like a Peterbilt 379. It's a pretty big one with a long nose in front of it. And they were teaching me that. And so they kept saying, about the different shifts and how to do it. And okay,
Right.
I went up and down the road a couple times, and they kept telling me, make sure you put on the brakes, because the way that the Peterbilt is, it kind of goes downhill a little bit because they want to show the trucks off to the highway of the people driving past. It's like their sales floor,
Okay.
Make sure you put the brakes on. Make sure you put the brakes on. You got to put.
Shit.
And for this particular truck, I think you had to put it in like second and then put the brakes on or something
Leave
like
it
that.
in
I can't
gear.
remember,
Don't leave it
obviously,
in
which is why I don't
neutral.
drive a
Yeah,
truck.
I don't
Your
know.
mom probably understands.
Yeah.
So I
She'll know. She'll let us know.
So I got back to the.
I'm excited.
I got back to the parking lot, and the guy that was training me jumped out of the truck, walked around to the back, and said, park it. Like, you're fine, So I'm on this hill. He walks to the freaking front of the truck.
Oh, no.
So I put it in what I thought the gear that he told me and went to go get out of the truck and didn't put the brakes on, and it started rolling. And luckily I realized that it was rolling right away, but my foot was already like out of the door.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to balance. Thank God I'm flexible. So I got like my left foot on like like a step.
Yeah.
My right foot's reaching for the brake, and it's literally an inch from him, and he's looking up
my
at me like,
God.
are you kidding me right now? I almost ran the guy over.
Oh my God.
Like, just
that's
because I forgot
crazy.
to put the brake on after they say you have to put the brake on. You have to put the
And he's like,
believe it.
you know what? Why don't you just go back to the office and I'll
Oh,
park
I don't
these
think I ever got in a truck again. That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, that's oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy. I never knew that you worked at Peterbilt.
Yeah, I did for just like a couple years. I hated every second of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I just didn't
that
like it. But
sucks.
yeah, some people were good. But
We all
some-
have jobs like that.
Yeah,
that we
and I don't know if I was in like a great state of mind during that time either. It was just to get me through. And,
Yeah.
the kids were young and whatever. So
Yeah.
But then I went over to Gregory Dodge.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
Hyundai in Highland Park and loved it there. But I
Yeah.
wasn't there very long. I wasn't a very good salesperson. So then I moved on from there. But
You're like,
yeah, I
I'm
really
sorry,
like him.
I can't rip people off. I can't be a car
I actually
salesman.
met some really great people there that I'm still friends with, and that was many, many
Yeah.
years ago. So just great people.
So I was giving Johnny shit talking about car sales.
yeah,
That the car we bought, he's got like 7% interest. I'm like, we need to go get this refinanced because
Yeah.
he has excellent credit. It's like in the 800s.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty decent too. It's
Yeah.
not that high, but it's
you could get a
good.
lower percentage.
Yeah. So then I was like, when I went and got the Corolla all on my own, I'm pretty sure I paid less than that. No, I paid freaking 9% interest on it. So then I'm looking
Oh,
at all
no.
my Corolla paperwork. I'm like, these assholes, because I started following this chick on TikTok that talks about selling cars, and she tells you what to do, what not to do. Don't tell them what your payment's going to be. You let them tell you what your payment's going to be, and then you tell them it's too high.
Because that's the first question that they ask you when you walk in is, well, what are we looking to spend here, folks? Or, or what can you afford a month?
And you just have to say, I'd like to see the price of the car. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is very good.
What's the price of it? Oh, my God. This chick, I have to find out who this chick is.
See, now I only know the sales side, so you got to tell me what I was doing wrong.
Then there's this thing. It's like you ask to see the call sheet. Okay, the call sheet is what, if you don't go in with your own financing, then they're going to find a bank to finance you, right?
Right.
So if you look at the call sheet, it tells you exactly what the bank financed you at. You'll find out a lot of times they're trying to charge you, say, 8% when the bank actually financed you at 5%. They can just up it like that. What the fuck?
So that extra percentage goes to the dealership?
The dealership. Yeah.
No kidding.
And then you never have to buy a warranty. You can buy a warranty at any time during the life of your car.
Okay, so no extra extended.
Do not buy anything extra. And when you really look at the contract, there's a bunch of numbers on there that you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, obviously you have to pay like taxes, title, blah, 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 that stuff. But there's a bunch of other shit on there. So then I'm looking because I traded a car in and I told them I want $800 for it. Give me $800 for the fucking car. And they were like, no problem. They wrote me a paper that said, we're giving you $800 for your trade-in. Yeah. We all signed it. Then I look at my contract. They only put $500 on the contract. Them motherfuckers got another $300
Oh,
out of
no
me.
kidding.
Yeah. And you don't have to buy gap insurance. If you have car insurance, you do not have to fucking buy gap insurance.
Okay.
Maybe it's different in every state. I don't know. But you do not have to buy gap insurance.
And what is gap insurance?
Gap insurance is like if you drive it off the lot and total it right away, it'll cover the whole cost of the car.
And they try to sell that every time? Or?
Every time.
Okay.
But guess what? If you have full motherfucking coverage on the car, it's going to cover the cost of the car
Which
anyways.
we know we do because we have to get that extra coverage because we're in our cars.
We have to have like 5 times the legal limit on our cars.
We do, yeah. Actually, I don't know if I do anymore, but yeah, I would prefer it.
Those guys.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Watch some YouTube videos before you go buy a car because those mother.
I'm gonna take you with me,
dude. Yeah. I was saying I can't take my husband because I'll walk out ending up spending more and paying more.
You know, and when Steve and I shop for a vehicle, we've gotten very lucky with the salesmen, and we just trust them. I should go look at my paperwork tonight when we're done because I wonder how much we trusted them.
Yeah. You paid for extra maintenance shit that you probably never used, you know, and they'll say shit like, oh, well, we'll give you 2 years free of oil changes. Well, if you look, they actually charge you for it. They charge it in a maintenance package.
Oh, okay.
But people don't know what all those numbers are, you know, so you have to literally go through line by line and be like, what is this?
Okay.
What is this? What is this?
And now when you're there,
for?
So what if you're there and you say, what is the $600? And they said, well, that's for the oil changes. And you say, take that off.
Take that off.
Where do they put that money? Like, do they go and hide it somewhere else?
That's what you got to watch. You
know?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it is a lot of, you got to kind of know, you know.
So why are they doing that? I don't
Because they can.
Yeah.
Because they can. This chick that I follow, she was talking about this guy, older gentleman who lives on a fixed income, walks in, you know, I just need something used that I can get around town in, blah, blah, blah. He brought home, I think, maybe $800 a month on Social Security. They gave him a $600 car payment.
Oh, gosh.
Totally took advantage of him.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh, no.
And people, like, do car salesmen really wonder why we don't trust them? Or do they, like...
I don't know. See, we've had, like I said, we've had really good luck, but I'll look at the paperwork to see what kind of luck we've had.
Yeah.
And I totally trust who I used to work with because I don't think... I mean, he's been able to explain everything to me. And when I worked there for that year or two, I didn't feel like I did anything crooked. But I also didn't go into the office during the signing.
Right.
I sold the car, and then the officer or whatever,
the
finance officer,
Yep.
is the one that finished it and sold whatever he wanted to sell.
Number one thing you can do when you walk in to buy a car is be pre-authorized for finance through your own bank.
Oh, okay.
Because then you know my bank is offering 2% interest. That's all I'm going to pay because they're ready to finance me.
So you can go to your bank, like I can go to mine and say, hey, I'm looking to buy a car this weekend.
Can you pre-authorize
me? And
they'll give you a letter. You take it in and you say, I'm already authorized. What's the sticker price on the car at 2%? Do the math. Okay, so, 40,000 times 2% for 60 months is what your payment should be.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There should be no extra besides, like I said, title tax, license, doc fee or whatever, however they say that,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So we have some friends that are service writers as well, and I think they make a percentage of everything that they sell.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I don't like. So yes, everyone needs to make a living.
Yeah.
And you sign in on this being a service writer and knowing what your commission's going to be and what you're going to make, and you have to sell to customers. So I hate it because I know really nothing about cars. I've been trying to learn the past 10 years about cars, what it's going to need.
You've had some bad luck with some
I've
cars.
had bad luck, which is why I've had to learn.
Yeah.
I had one that had a bad EGR valve, so every time I hit the gas, it would stop basically and sometimes quit because the EGR valve was blocked.
Yeah.
So I knew that if I went to somewhere and I would tell them exactly what was going on and then they were able to fix it. But if I didn't, then they were like doing all this. Well, I think it's this. I think it's this. And then all of a sudden I have a $1,000 or $2,000 bill. Yeah. So I just ended up learning about cars. Then I had the Dodge that had it after a while. They actually, the warranty paid for a whole new engine.
Yeah, because it was a lemon.
It was a lemon. Yeah. So I've just learned a lot. But anyways, back to the service writers. So that is the one thing that I don't like when I go. We have one place local here that we trust, and then actually where I used to work, I don't like it because I feel like they try to sell me 4 or 5 different things, and they make it sound like okay, for example, this is a perfect example. Brand new car. I was traveling, so I had about 30,000 miles the first year because I was traveling. It's the car I have now.
Yeah.
And she was trying to tell me that I hit a pothole and my one wheel was in a little bit. So all they had to do was bang it out a little bit and it was going to cost me $350. I said, well, what wheel is it? Oh, let me take a look at my paperwork here.
Oh my God.
It's your front passenger one. So I was like, well, you know what? It's driving okay. I don't feel any shakes. Let's just leave it for now. So the next time, just to kind of see, I said, you know what, just tell me everything that's going on with it, and she never brought it up again.
No.
So did she just make that up? Am I paying $350 for them to take a wrench and bang my tire back out?
Because if your tire was crooked like that, you would need an alignment.
Well, and I would feel it. I absolutely think I would. I have such a small car that I'm going 80 down the highway. I'm going to be able to tell.
You're going to feel your wheel go.
And I looked at the tires, and they weren't, like all of them were worn the same way.
Yeah, that's a good way to tell. Yeah. And when your wheel is straight, your tires are straight, one's not crooked. That's a good way to tell.
Yeah, and it's not like balancing, like it's not leaning, wanting to talk to somebody, like, what's up, so...
I hate salesmen. I really do.
I do too. But I mean, I understand that we all have to make a living, and
sales
is part of retail. And
why can't we just make a living?
Yeah, right. Why can't we make an honest living?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just be honest.
That's like Chili's.
Yeah, just be
fucking Chili's.
3 weeks in a row.
I'm not going to stop until they start paying a decent wage to their cooks and their wait staff and bartenders.
We do have a place by here. The service writers are really nice. Like, it's a family-owned company. They've been around for years. The owner is there every day, and I think he's in his late 80s.
See? And that's what you need is people that... in small communities like we live, we know who to go to. We know who to trust. They're not fucking us around.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever tried to sell me anything extra. Although this last time I asked them for new windshield wipers, which I could absolutely do it myself, but I just so happened to have a turnaround trip, and it was raining, and I had to go get an oil change. I literally woke up that morning and said, "I'm on my way to Indy." That's it had to. And so I went over real fast early in the morning at 7 a.m. As soon as they opened, I said, "Can you do an oil change? And can you please add windshield wipers?"
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain they forgot the windshield wipers because they're worse now than they ever have been, or they gave me crap ones. So I'm going to give them crap when I get back over there.
When I got my windshield changed and then it was messed up, so I had to take it back and they had to fix it.
Yes, that was so frustrating.
And I had good windshield wipers on there, right? Because they say when you get your windshield changed, put new wipers on it.
Yes.
So you're not scratching them with old ones.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, well, we went ahead and put wipers on there for you." And I was like, "Fuck, I had decent wipers on there,
Yeah.
They are shit. I've already replaced them.
Oh, no.
I was like, "Thanks for giving me your..." And they were like, "We did that for free." And I was like, "Oh, well, wadi fucking da." I had to come back here after you guys fucked my shit up. Damn it.
I had to get a new, speaking of all the bad luck I've had with cars, I was on my way up north and a rock from a truck on the other side of the highway hit it and just spidered, it was like a spider web. And so I got back home here and I called the person and I explained exactly what I had. We even went through the VIN, the VIN number. And I was like, this is what I have. And he asked me a question. He was like, well, do you have a heated mirror or something like that, so I was like, yes, I have that, I have this, yes, I have this, it's this one, it's fully loaded, fully low. Bring me the highest one because I'm pretty sure that's what you're gonna need.
Hook that shit
and
up.
Sure enough, he brought the wrong one, so it was like 2 days loss of. He came.
Oh my god!
I opened up the garage door and I saw him walk around the car and shake his head like shit.
He's like, these assholes sent me with the wrong fucking one. Because that guy.
What? Actually, what happened? He got here and he goes, I looked up the VIN, I saw what it was, I listened to what you said, and I still brought the wrong one because I figured you didn't know what it was. And I'm like, what
a
really?
Dick! What a dick!
He goes, at least I'm
that.
being honest. He goes, I was like, there's no way that she's got this car with this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Well, now I'll see you tomorrow with the right one.
Shit.
It had to do with my mirror. My mirror had some kind of. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't just a regular mirror. It was connected with the navigation, or what is
your
compass, and it had where like if someone's
it
bright,
dims the lights. Yes.
And that's what it was. And he said, "Oh,
Dude,
I didn't
have
think
that
they made
too.
these cars like that."
I wonder, and I feel like after my windshield got replaced, it doesn't.
They probably
work.
didn't rehook the wires. No, it just like pops off and they put it back on because it's all the way up and
Those
around.
bastards.
But yeah, so if you're a service writer or if you're in car sales, we would love to have you on the show because I got
my
lots
God.
of questions.
Yeah, we're gonna rip you a new asshole.
I mean, we'll be polite at first until you start being dirty with your sales.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, I knew a couple. I know a couple sales.
I can't believe that guy said
service
that
writers.
to you though. Like, well,
Yeah.
you're a woman, so you
Well,
don't
he didn't
know.
say that, but
pretty much.
yeah, he was like, "There's no way she's got this car. This is not the because it was one of those where I bought it." Like it, okay, so my car that I have now, I bought from my friend that works at Gregory.
Yeah.
And then the last car was the same thing.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I want it fully loaded. And both times they were the ones that were on the floor of the show, the Chicago Auto Show or whatever. Both times those cars were.
God.
So they had like extra
Right.
bells and whistles, as they would say. So that's why.
He's like, no way does she have this one. She don't make that much money. And then he pulled up and
No,
saw your
it wasn't
house.
that expensive. It was just like
He pulled up to your house and he was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no,
This
it had
bitch
nothing to
does
do
have
with
money.
money. Yeah, no. It wasn't like that. I wouldn't be buying a Dodge or a Hyundai if I had money.
Yeah, right. Oh, hey, you know what I found out?
Although they do make really nice cars.
Okay, so you own a business, right?
Yes.
It's called what?
My business?
Yeah, what's your business
Oh,
called?
Name Tag Productions, LLC.
Right. So you could buy a G-Wagon or a Model X Tesla, anything over 6,000 pounds, and you can write off the full cost to your business account.
Really? But I have to pay through the business. And
So
we're
what?
not making millions yet.
Yeah, but you just put some money in there and then pay for it, and then you get it back on taxes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I think Steve did that with
Yeah.
the van.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
There's plenty of vehicles. There's a whole list, actually, that you can, as long as it's over 6,000 pounds and you use it for 50% or more of the business, you can write the whole cost off on your taxes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm learning how to be a millionaire because
You-
I'm preparing us.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate this.
Yeah,
I really
You do all the work. I just let you know what we're going to buy with our money.
All right, that sounds great. Let's keep doing that.
We're both driving G-Wagons. Well, you can have the G-Wagon. I'll have the
What is
Tesla Model
G-Wagon?
X.
What does that mean?
That's a Mercedes, like the Safari.
Oh
like
shit! I'd have that thing
Mercedes.
beat up and like I'd hit a curb. No way! I'm not. I'm
You'd
sticking
be
with
like
my
that old
Hyundai.
lady hitting
Forget
the
it.
guardrail.
This is why I do not spend over $30,000 on a car. Sorry, I beat the
All right.
crap out of my
well,
cars.
then we can both get Tesla Model X's. With
I'm
the
not doing
butterfly
Teslas.
windows.
No way.
Why
Get out of here! I
not?
would beat the crap out of it.
No,
This is
you
why I buy
wouldn't.
cheap cars.
It's electric.
And you know I'm
It's
cheap.
electric.
It's electric. Doobie doobie doo.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Boogie woogie woogie. No way.
Yeah, wait.
That's why I stay
We're
with
getting it.
no. Oh my gosh.
We're both getting one.
All right, next year.
Okay.
We'll just walk in. I'll be like, she knows what she's doing. Just,
Yep.
I want silver. Don't know.
I don't know if they make Teslas in silver. That
I don't
would
want
be
a
custom
Tesla.
order.
Oh my God, I would beat it up. Anyways.
Okay, well then you can get a silver
So
G-Wagon.
speaking of expensive cars, a couple years ago, I was on the North Shore here,
Oh my God.
and I was at a store.
Does it make you feel poor when you're at stores
Not at
like
all.
that?
Not
No?
at all. No.
I feel poor
I don't.
driving up in my Hyundai.
Really?
And it's all Mercedes and Teslas and Lamborghinis and
Oh
Corvettes.
gosh,
and,
don't compare yourself to that. If you do or whatever, don't. Yeah, don't.
But
think
then,
about
like,
that kind of stuff.
I did the Snap the one day. It was the company was worth like $1 million, and here they're driving a Toyota.
Yeah,
And I was like,
no.
yep, Toyotas are awesome.
No, I want something good on gas, something that I can beat up and not worry about, and that can last forever, right?
yeah.
That's why I bought one that's got 10-year,
Yeah.
100,000 mile
There you
warranty.
go.
So
Perfect.
yeah. So I was on the North Shore, and I had I think I was still in the Dodge, and I went to a store, and then this was before they had coffee in the store, so it was a few years ago. So I stopped at a Starbucks that was right across the street.
Yeah.
So I walked in because they didn't have a drive-through. It was kind of a weird corner.
Yeah.
So I parked in a regular parking spot. And it was kind of actually, it was really hot out that day. I remember. So I went and got an iced coffee, I came back to my car. I started my car because I needed the air conditioning going,
Right.
because I heard some emails coming through on my phone. So I wanted to answer the emails before I started driving, or
Right.
I had a bad habit
Right.
of speaking, and replying, and
Yeah.
then maybe not reading the email fully. So I wasn't answering, and then I would just get home with even more emails of questions.
And then it's all like spell check, not correctly.
Yeah, forget it. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit here. So I was sitting there I was probably a good 15 minutes, but I was just sitting there, like my car was
Yeah.
running, and all of a sudden I'm hearing a beep, 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 like, and I'm just like, ignoring it because I'm like, well,
Right.
I know I'm in my parking spot.
Someone's alarm is going off. Whatever.
Yeah, or whatever,
Yeah.
and then I hear it again, like 30 seconds later. So I look up and I look over, and there's a woman in a fancy car, and she's telling me, get out of your spot.
Oh my
like,
God.
move out of your spot. And I'm like, well, bitch, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, and she's like, and so I thought, oh shit, I got my reverse lights on. Maybe she's waiting for me to.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm running my car in here.
What the
So I
hell?
and she did it 3 times.
Oh my
beep, beep,
God.
beep, laid on her horn, and then she's like signaling me
Crumbly
to pull.
or-
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was crazy. To pull out.
What the hell? I'd be
So-
like, now I sit here till we die.
Yeah.
Go find another spot, lady. Because
Oh, I didn't move. I didn't have any more emails to write, but I sat there, and then she sat there too, like she was gonna fight.
I'd be
I'm
like, well, now I'm done with emails. I'm going on TikTok.
Yeah. I don't even think it was around then. It was that long. But I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, what's happening
Dude,
here?
people are so rude. I hate people.
Wow, I couldn't believe it. So
I hate people so much.
I was speaking of Starbucks, because we love coffee, I was in the drive-thru, and I heard, so this person, first of all, I was pissed because this car in front of me cut me off. Then I realized there were 13 people in the car that were all going to order their special
God.
drinks. So we all know Starbucks is having a shortage right now. So you just kind of get what you need, because
Right.
it's shortages like everyone has.
Freaking oat milk.
Yeah, oat milk, or they don't have honey packets, or they no
Yeah.
longer make my skinny cinnamon dolce.
What?
It's just out now. So I'm gonna do like a vanilla. I've just
What
been
the
doing
hell?
regular coffee and adding like Splenda and soy milk or something. Just kind of doing kind of,
Gross.
just kind of plain.
Because I want something
it's-
fancy when I go to Starbucks.
Yeah, and I go often, so it's saving me $3, but I haven't been able to find a latte that I like,
Yeah.
so maybe I'll have to
Yeah.
ask for some suggestions. But so this car cuts me off, and they pull up, and every single thing that they ordered must have been out of stock.
Oh my God.
And so then they're asking questions like,
well, can you make it with this?
yeah, well, no, I just told you that this, and then the next
Oh
person
my
would order. I could
God.
hear them. The next person would order, and she'd be like, well, no, that we're out of that too. But I feel like it was
Oh,
the same
shoot.
drink as the person before.
It's like they
I mean,
wanted a vanilla cappuccino, and then the next person wanted a vanilla
and I
something.
mean, not
she
to be
already
high
said,
maintenance
yeah.
or anything. I'm like that when you have 13 people in your car, go in.
Go inside.
Go inside
I
and have the
agree.
conversation,
I agree,
And you could
yes.
see all the cars in front of them were done. They went around the building.
Yeah,
And,
and
so,
they're still sitting there.
but then I thought to myself, okay, so do I really need this coffee? Like, it was getting so long. I
Yeah.
don't mind waiting a minute or two.
Yeah.
But it was like a minute per all these people in this car.
That's so annoying.
And then you know what's weird is after the whole conversation, they went around the building. I ordered my drink, probably something for Julia, went around the building. She handed them 4 drinks,
that was all they got.
and that was all they got.
what the hell?
So I was like, what is this conversation? What
well, they
what
probably were
happened?
like, well, then I don't want anything because I'm spoiled brat.
Yeah, it was just so weird. So now I'm going to go into something else. Because obviously that's just high maintenance at Starbucks. And,
Yeah.
I don't even really need to go every day.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have even been complaining about it. But
Yeah.
whatever. It could have been their first time.
They didn't know what it was.
Yeah. So I went to Six Flags on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So fun.
I saw you were there.
Yeah. My arms are still tired from carrying the 4-year-old
Your
around.
best friend.
Oh, my
Your
God.
bestie.
Love her. And the other best friend was there too. But
We don't care about him. We just care about the cute little 4-year-old best friend.
So lines for days, of course, but you go there knowing you're going to spend an hour and 20 or whatever.
Right.
So I decided to get the refillable drinks.
Yes.
And so I was in line, and I knew it was going to take about probably 20 or 30 minutes in line because it was lunchtime, and I just wanted a refill on the drinks, but everyone was getting pizza and fries and, all this kind of stuff. So if you look on the menu board, there are maybe 10 items.
Right.
And they're combos or whatever. I'm telling you, 3 families in front of me, 3 in a row. They were on their phones talking the whole time in line. Okay, but they're not even up there yet.
Kick them in the back of the
So,
knee.
it's no problem to be on your phone when you're in line, but they're like, kind of like almost like hanging on the phone. Like they were just, I don't know where someone else was or who they were talking to. So not paying attention. Maybe one person was looking up at the menu, and you could buy beers there too now, which I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So the first family, there was only 2 people working. The first family walks up and they're trying to make a deal with the person. So I have 5 people in my family. I want 5 pizzas with the fries, but I only want 1 tater tot. And this one's like, so if I only want the tater tots on the one, and they're trying to make a deal where it's like there is no deal at Six Flags Great America.
16-year-olds behind there. Just tell them what you fucking want and move on.
And it was just, and once again, I'm listening to these conversations, and then the second family walked up and they didn't know what they wanted.
Oh,
so can you tell me what comes with the pizza? Pepperoni and cheese.
Oh my God.
So are you serious right now?
Like I said, I had to kick them in the back of the knee.
Yeah. And then the third family goes up and none of their cards worked.
Oh my
None
God.
of their cards worked. There were probably 20 in a family. And so the one mom is like taking her purse out of the stroller after they decided to order like 50 pieces of whatever. And I'm just like, wow, I picked the wrong line.
You're like, I just want some ice water.
So oh my God. I almost was about to like reach around and get the water, get the drinks myself because it was like, it just sits there, the fountain. So she puts her one card in, puts in her debit, and I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why it's not taking it. Okay. She opens up her wallet. There's like 40 more cards in there.
God.
So I'm like, those are probably not even your cards.
Oh my God.
So then
or they are her cards, and obviously they're all maxed
they just maxed out. Yeah. So then I'll just call him the dad. I don't know if he was the dad of the whole 20 crew there. He put his card in and then put his number in for the debit. That one didn't go through.
Oh my God.
And I thought, okay,
y'all are broke.
Y'all are broke. But then you know what else I noticed? Really fancy watches.
Oh God.
She had a real big rock
Of
on her
course.
finger. Like they all had brand new tennis shoes. So they all went to the mall before they went to Six Flags Great
And they should have
America.
packed a fucking lunch.
And they probably should have packed a lunch. Exactly. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for everybody.
You can go out and come back in. You can go to Chick-fil-A down the road.
We've done that for years.
Yeah.
Like we've had passes. I think it opened I won't say the year because then I'll have to say my age, but I think I was there when I was 1. Like that when I was 1 year old. That's how long I've gone. I bet I've been there over 1,000 times.
Oh
I mean,
my
and that's not being dramatic. Like
my grandma used to take us there with Grandpa Vic, and you know, a few times, but
I think
I've probably only been there like a dozen
Oh,
times.
I bet without even being dramatic, I've been there. I used to go there like every afternoon after school.
Oh my
or
gosh.
my brother and I would go. And then of course once, my cousin would take me when I wasn't able to drive. She's 10 years older than me, but we just had a blast when we were younger. She would take me. And then when I turned 16, I was always going with friends or whatever. So
that's crazy.
And then we have cousin Paul who Paul in produce.
Right.
He stayed he hung out with us for a couple summers. We always had passes, so we went. We had a couple days every week that we would go.
And it is really a good deal if you have a family of 4.
Yeah,
and you get the 4-pack deal.
And now they have memberships there now, so it's really only like I think for the 3 of us, because Steve doesn't have one. He doesn't go. He doesn't like any of that kind of stuff. I think I only pay like $29 or $30 a month, and because I paid all last year, our card has all these discounts on it. Every time I went up to get like a snack, like, a pretzel or some fries or something, I would say, well, can you scan this for a discount? And it would be like $6 off,
no shit.
$2.80, so I mean, whatever. I'm
$6
impressed.
off of a pretzel because they charge $21.99.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it was still $19.99, but hey, the pretzel was good. No,
it's ridiculous prices there.
And then let me just go back because I know this is a retail podcast. That these 3 families that were in front of me that were giving these people the hard time, they were so pleasant.
Really?
Like you did not see their face like drop. Like okay, so. Let's just say we go to our place of work where we met, and someone in front, 3 families in front are doing this, right, at the customer service. by the time we would get up there, that person would be like, whew,
Oh,
like,
God.
oh my God, so
Eye rolling.
sorry. And,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing from them.
Really?
It was like, can I help you? So I don't know. I don't know what it was, but
Wait, how old do you think they were?
I would say young 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one gentleman that helped me said Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So they come over to
Yeah.
work, it's probably an internship or, I don't know how that works,
Yeah.
but so pleasant.
Or
I
maybe
couldn't
it
believe-
lets
so
people
proud
know
of
they
them.
speak that language.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I noticed that some of the name badges had,
Really?
Yeah, we'll have to ask. I don't know. I know a few
Because
people
I
that
know
work there. So
is Six Flags is in Illinois.
Yeah.
It's in Texas.
there's a lot of them.
Are they
yeah.
in other countries like
Oh,
Disney?
country, I don't know. I don't know. That I don't know. Yeah, I
Maybe
should have
it's
done my
called
research
something
before
else.
starting this.
That's
but
all right.
yeah, but
We
I know
can
there's a few of them because I
put
was
something
reading
on
a
there.
sign that was talking about like the oldest roller coasters and where they're at.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's one in like Southern Illinois that I'd like to check out.
Really?
Mhm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I like roller coasters, but I'm like older now and they scare me.
Yeah, I think more of like, have you done your maintenance over the winter on this
Right.
one when I get on it? But yeah, I mean, I
Right.
was fine. And then there was a couple years that I couldn't ride anything. I would get stomach aches all the time. But
Really?
now I have no problem.
So then you ask, is it better that ours is closed all winter and only used during the summer? Or would it be better in Texas where it's ran all year long?
and have maintenance all year. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know
Yeah, I'm not
either.
sure because I know during the winter they replace a lot of the wood boards and you see them working
Yeah.
with the cranes and stuff. So
Yeah.
who knows? Then they got the water park there too. That's what scares me. I can't do a
I
water
can't do
park.
water park.
I don't know
like
why.
wedgies. I don't want to go
Yeah,
down the
I
water
don't.
slide
I don't
and
mind.
get a wedgie.
I don't mind wedgies, but I don't mind losing my suit. It's just the whole like trusting that I'm gonna get down. I don't know
I
why
know.
because there's no rails.
It freaks me
You're
out
just
too.
it's your
Yeah.
rear end or your stomach
Yeah.
or you're folding your hands over your heart
Yeah.
and praying
Yeah.
while you drop that
Yeah.
or it's the inner tube.
Yeah.
So you're not really on
and I've seen
like a
videos
track.
of those inner tubes going up over
Yeah,
the side
no,
of it.
thanks.
Yeah.
See, I'm never gonna
Yeah,
go.
no.
I go
And then
trust
you-
one that is wooden and 100 years old. You know what I mean? I'll go on that one because
The
of the track.
largest wooden roller coaster in the United States, I think, is the American Eagle.
Yeah, I think it's like
it's there at
43 years
Flags.
old
Yeah.
or something.
So, and what's the grossest thing ever is getting into the wave pool. And you're like, what is that? And you have like people's hair wrapped around their fingers. Like,
no.
it's so gross.
Or let's just talk about how you're in that the what do they call that? The relaxing pool? Or is that the wave pool? Is that the
lazy river.
lazy river? And
yeah.
you like start to go and it's nice and cool. You're feeling refreshed. And all of a sudden you go through a warm patch. You're like, somebody just peed here.
Oh, sick.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
it's sick. I know. So we live pretty close to Wisconsin Dells, which is like the largest water park in
Yeah,
the world or
yeah.
something. Water park location in the world.
It's just a whole strip of water
it's
parks,
just a
right?
shit ton of water parks there. And they got that big bucket that fills up and dumps on
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And
Okay, I've seen that.
Every hotel has a lazy river. And those people are just peeing in there. Because
Yeah.
they serve beers. Nobody's going to the bathroom.
Oh, they have the walk-up bars.
Yeah.
In the pools.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see people having like 3-4 drinks and they ain't
Yeah.
moving off their
And
seat
they're
because they don't
not-
want to lose
yeah.
that
They're
spot.
not going anywhere. They're just sitting there pissing in the water. So I saw somebody they took very smelly chlorine water and then clean water with chlorine in it. And they found that the more chlorine you smell, the more pee is in the pool.
Oh, okay.
It's like the
okay.
ammonia in the pee brings out the chlorine smell.
So the last time I was at Wisconsin Dells,
Yeah.
I think I was with the kids for something.
Yeah.
I walked into, or maybe, I was with the kids. So I walked into the pool area and my eyes started
Yes.
burning because it was so strong.
It's a bunch of chlorine mixing with all the pee.
No, and there was a
Yeah.
walk-up bar
Yeah.
at that one.
Yep.
So
Yep.
wow.
Everyone just pissing in there with no shame.
Wow. I'm learning so much today. Thanks. I know how to buy a car. I know not to go swimming. This is great. Amazing. Can you imagine being a lifeguard?
No.
Yeah,
hell
I know.
no. Hell
Wow, what
no.
a job right there, huh?
Especially on the beach.
Yeah.
I just saw a video the other day. These two chicks are just like, like laying on their backs on the beach. And there's a freaking shark swimming under them.
Oh.
Like right under them.
Wow.
Right next to. They have no clue. No clue. And I'm like, this is why I don't get in the water.
Were they
past my
on
thighs.
floaties?
No.
They were just floating
They
themselves.
were just floating on their backs.
Wow.
And you could it was like somebody had a drone. So you could see like the wave come and you see her like lift up with the wave and then boom, there's the shark going right under her.
No kidding.
Yes.
Wow. Well, luckily the shark didn't think that they were fish.
It's crazy.
So now if you're a lifeguard, any lifeguards out there, and you see this start happening, because you kind of sit up high, right? So let's say
but
they
I don't
see
even
this.
know if they can see. Could they see? I don't know.
Let's say they do.
Okay.
Do you go out there and save these people, or do you ask them to come in?
I think
Because
they're like,
which one's going to be the
get
snack?
out of the water.
Yeah, we got to watch Jaws 1 again, and find out how he did. I'm pretty sure he just told people to get out of the water.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. If anybody out there is a lifeguard at the beach, let us know.
Yeah, no kidding.
J Boogie, find a lifeguard for us. We need answers. Do they warn people or do they just leave them out there and go, ooh, let's see what happens. Let's see if that shark's hungry today.
So I don't float. I don't know why.
Because you're too muscly.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
Yes.
That's what my mother says.
That's
but
exactly
I
why.
don't float. So
I
there'd
got all
be no
this fat.
Stop it.
I have an
There-
inner tube already around my gut.
I have so many people have tried to teach me how to float, and
Yeah.
my legs just drop to
Yeah.
the ground. So that shark would just my legs would
Oh
be
my
dangling. It would be like,
God.
yeah,
Yummy.
snack time.
Little drumsticks for me. So, because I'm pro worker, obviously,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
I think minimum wage should be you can afford a house, a phone, your
car.
your electricity.
Yeah.
Maybe not even a car because a car can be expensive, but
Oh, okay.
if you're a good saver, then yeah, you can buy a car to get around.
I got you.
But
Let's just have a place to live, basically,
place
right?
to
And
live.
communicate.
and some food.
Yeah.
Pay your electric. You got lights. Does it pay for free internet? No. Does it pay for fancy
Cable and
stuff?
yeah.
No.
No. Right.
But you should at least be able to pay your rent, have some lights on, and have some food in your fridge.
Agreed.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So there is on October 15th a general labor strike.
Oh.
So it's everybody. It's everybody and anybody. It's starting to come together. There's some demands with it, right?
Okay.
So everyone's like, well, taking one day off of work isn't going to do anything. No, this is like, we don't go back to work until they meet these things.
Oh, okay.
So
What groups are these? Is this
it's everybody.
okay? Oh, it's everyone?
I mean, because if you support them, then you're going to do it too, right?
Oh, I got you. I understand.
So even Meredith's like, no, I have to go to work.
I'm going to work. I don't want to lose my job.
That's the thing is like, okay, so I would say mainly it's fast food restaurants, stuff like that.
Sure.
It's $20 an hour minimum wage, 12 weeks mandatory maternity leave.
Oh, okay. What do they get now? Do you know?
Some places don't get anything.
Oh, I see.
You
They
know what
just
I
have to
mean?
take the time off,
They
and when
have
they come
to-
back.
Either take it unpaid, they have to use short-term disability,
Oh.
or they have to use their vacation time along with short-term disability.
Okay.
So some places don't even offer that.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So $20 an hour, 12 weeks maternity leave, a 25% like corporate tax. So any corporations have to pay minimum 25% tax. I don't really understand that one. I haven't looked into it.
Okay.
And then there is the wage, the maternity leave, environmental.
Oh, environmental. Okay.
And then I believe there is something about like basic health care, but we have Obamacare,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
whatever health act, so really anybody can go get insurance right now.
Okay.
A lot of people say it's not affordable. That's another thing,
Oh.
I got into an argument with a guy the other day because he's like, that's fake news. If you work 32 hours, they have to offer you benefits. But because 32 in some places is considered full-time hours.
Oh, okay.
But, okay, so say you're finally working 32 hours a week. Can you afford to give them $80 a week for your insurance?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to be just making ends meet.
Yeah.
Because you were struggling before only working 24 hours a week. you know?
Right. So
I
then
know-
you increase it to 32, but then they're taking out money for insurance. You're right back
insurance.
to the 24-hour
Right.
wage,
Exactly.
right? Basically.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
So it's like, great, I can go to the doctor now, but like I can't afford any medication.
Right,
you know?
right.
Or anything else,
Yeah.
Still can't get a car,
Right.
So so this general strike is going on. And if you already have the day off, if you don't want to participate, just don't buy anything that day. Don't go to any big corporations and purchase anything.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
Don't order anything online. Don't buy gas. Don't buy groceries. Don't buy fast food.
So it's October 15th.
October
What day of the
15th.
week is that?
I don't even know. I didn't look.
yeah.
Look at your calendar. Yeah. So I think that's it. $20 an hour, corporate tax.
It's a Friday. I thought so.
Yeah. And then maternity
Interesting.
leave.
I don't watch much news. I just try to stay away from socials. I try to stay away from news because I just feel like it's so.
Yeah.
It just brings me down. So I
know.
didn't know anything about this.
It's
so
really depressing, but
I really do need to read more
I
on it
feel
because
like-
I have a lot of friends and family that are in this.
We all have a lot of friends
Yeah.
and family that work retail,
Yeah.
work fast food.
Yeah.
They waitress, they bartend.
Yeah, I'll do my research on this.
And
for
you guys
sure.
know me, I'm always like, they deserve to make a living,
Yeah. Yeah.
People say, oh, well, if you want to work at a fast food place your whole life, then you don't deserve $15 an hour. You should try to better yourself. But it's not always an option, okay?
Yeah.
If you can't get out of the ghetto, you can't get out of the ghetto, right? So there's no other place to work. You can't afford a car. The bus only goes so far. It depresses me. So
Yeah, I hear you.
because we moved up the ladder.
We did.
And we knew how to negotiate for
I mean, I love
ourselves.
retail.
I did too. But I feel so bad. Even some of these people that are like retired, only working part-time, and they might only get like enough to pay their just what they need. And the only reason they're working at this corporate owned job is so they can have insurance, And it's like they still struggle, and retired people shouldn't have to freaking struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you've worked 40 years, like you should be able to say, okay, I'm done. I just want to hang out by my pool or whatever and relax. You shouldn't have to worry about paying bills.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's so depressing in the United States. Don't move here. I know 16 other countries listen. The American dream is only a dream because you only believe it when you're asleep.
I guess that's just too bad that there's so many people struggling. So
I don't care where you work. If you have two people working 40 plus hours a week, you should be able to afford necessities.
I am going to say this out loud, though. I do not feel bad for the people that are fighting for more money when I know that they have other things that they do. They're out every weekend.
Yeah.
And they have maybe some habits, that they probably need to break.
Well,
and so I don't feel bad for them, but I do feel bad for the ones that.
So everybody should suffer because of them?
Right. No,
You know
no,
what
no,
I
no,
mean?
I'm
Like,
not. I'm not
and-
saying
no, I
that
know,
at all.
but
yeah.
that's a lot of people's outlook on it.
Yeah.
Well, I see these people on food stamps that have fancy cars. Well,
Yeah.
then you need to call your congressperson.
Yeah.
Well,
it's exactly what I was just saying. These people are
Yeah.
putting in their debit cards and they're getting declined, but they have
Yeah.
these fancy outfits on and
Yeah.
these fancy shoes. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's balance this out here a little
I
bit.
know,
So
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Totally. Oh, I'm glad. Thanks for that information.
Yeah. October
Very good.
15th. Don't buy anything.
Yeah. All
Even
right.
if you don't want to strike, don't buy anything.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of jobs and people that are
Yeah.
looking, and now we're getting to the point where there are so many jobs available,
Yes.
and people are getting off of unemployment from last year, right?
Yes.
2020 sucked. We know that.
Yeah.
A lot of
2021
people lost their
hasn't
jobs.
been so great either.
No,
but we're trying to make
getting
it better.
There. We are really trying, right? So I would like to go through some questions to prep everyone on interviews.
A lot of
let's
people
do
are
like
going to
a
be
little
interviewing.
Yeah, let's do a little bit of a reminder of what they're going to get asked and questions that they can ask. So here's what I always tell. I always told the kids this. I've told my friends this. I've told family. You're going on an interview. They want to know about you, but you know what? Really, you want to know about them. You want to know if you're going to be happy working that job. You don't want to wake up every morning with anxiety going, are they going to fire me? Am I going to do the right thing?
Like you do.
God.
So the first red flag is when they say, we're just like a big old family here.
Yeah, I remember you talked about that.
Run.
Yeah.
Because my family's fucked up.
If you're comparing it to my family, no. So the first question that they always say is, tell us about yourself.
I already have sweaty palms because you're interviewing me right now. Gonna get the nervous poops.
Do we need to take a break real quick?
No. Okay, so tell
what
me
is-
about yourself.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, what about you guys?
Yeah,
tell me about
exactly.
you.
Yeah.
What
So when
do
you talk about
bring to the
yourself,
table?
you always have to remember in an interview that they don't want to know anything personal. First of all, they can't ask personal.
Yeah.
They don't want to know about yourself.
Right.
They want to know about yourself in the business
You're
world.
like, I have 25 years of customer service
Yep.
experience. These are the places that I've worked.
Yep. And
This is
here
what I
are the
did.
positions or the roles
Yeah.
that I played.
And I made
that's
a
it.
lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be the next question. So, and then they also ask, why do you want to work here?
Because I like food. Because I have bills.
So that right there.
Is what you don't
I like
wanna
how you're
say.
answering totally wrong, and I'm just going to tell you what you should say. I'm just kidding. So why do you want to work here? So first of all, before you get on an interview,
Yeah.
do your research on the job.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
on the business, rather.
Yeah, right.
Do your research on the business.
Like, oh, I see that you guys do a lot of volunteer work for, homeless children. in
Yes,
Haiti,
and you could
I
be
would
like,
love to
I
be a
do
part of
too,
that.
and you're lying. So first of all, don't lie about that because
Don't
they're
lie
going to put
about
you on a
it.
plane to Haiti and you're not going to know what to do.
You're like, I've never vaccinated anybody. I've never dewormed kids in Africa. I don't know what I'm doing.
You want me to fix this cleft lip? What? Scalpel. Yeah, no, don't pretend to be someone you're not.
Right.
So and when they say, why do you want to work for this company? Make sure you know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
For example, I interviewed someone and we hired her and she had a couple great things to say about the company. Well, I know about you because this, and this, and I know. And she had, probably 3 lines of what she knew about the company.
So,
she
like-
did her research.
So, like, is liking your product a good reason?
Absolutely,
like, oh my God, I
you can
love your
say.
product and I buy it all the
Absolutely,
time.
I said that on my interview. I
yeah.
absolutely did. So how did you hear about the job? So they want to know
Shit.
where you heard about it.
I read it in a newspaper.
Yeah.
Who reads newspapers anymore? I circled it with my big red Sharpie
Can
in the
you imagine?
newspaper.
I put a heart around it on the paper.
That shows you how old we are.
Yeah.
All of our music montage movies.
Man. Oh man. But yeah, so just make sure you know what site you
I was
got
gonna
it
say,
from.
okay.
And actually, they probably already know because you either went to their
Oh,
own
yeah.
hiring website or
right.
it came through on one of the major
Glassdoor,
Yeah, one of the
Indeed,
major
or
websites. So just
whatever,
make sure
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, interviewers will say, "Tell me a little bit of something on your resume. Pick anything out of that resume and tell me about it." Let's talk bigger on that part.
So you better know what is on your resume.
you absolutely better know what's on your
and
resume.
you probably shouldn't misspell words.
So
on
in
your
other
resume.
words, you can have someone help you write your resume, but read through your resume the night before the interview.
before you hit send,
Yes.
make sure you know
please.
what's on it.
Make sure all the words are spelled correctly, Cassandra, and
Hey,
then
you
send
know,
it.
We all got a good laugh out of my misspelled
No,
words.
I know. It was really good. It was funny. I mean, and it happens, right? It totally happens. I think we
Damn spell
hired
check.
someone and it said way at the bottom, I think manager was spelled wrong. There was a missing A. I mean, it
Manager.
happens. And I don't know how I
Manager.
noticed it because I'm the worst. I'll go back and look at my emails. I'm like, oh my gosh, did it seriously say that? Did I tell everyone this yet? That I was working a few years ago and I was talking to someone named Trisha.
Okay.
Did I tell you everybody
No,
about this yet?
no.
So I wrote this really nice email and there was a couple spell checks. I was on my phone. It was probably when I was in that coffee parking lot with that lady
Yeah.
beeping. And I went to go look at the scent and it changed Trisha to Twinkie.
Hey, Twinkie,
Have
how
I ever
are
told you
today?
that?
No.
It was horrible. Hi, Twinkie. Thanks for reaching out. Are you serious?
So what did you do?
I called her.
Oh my God.
I like panicked. I go, I am so sorry. She was laughing, thank goodness.
I bet she was.
But I never heard from her again, so
Oh,
I don't know. It was
no.
bad.
She blacklisted you.
Yeah. She ghosted me. So here's a really big one that is always asked. Why are you looking? What's wrong with where you're at? Or maybe you don't have a job at the time, which you have to be honest about that. I haven't worked in 2020, which is totally fine. We completely understand
Yeah.
that. But let's just say we're in 2019 and they
Okay.
want to know why you didn't work in 2018. Think about that.
So I'm
what are
gonna
your reasons?
say
And be honest.
My reason is I wanted to excel more at the company, and there was nowhere else for me to go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. That's very good.
Yep.
And and they'll say, so why are you looking at a job, or why are you looking for a different job? So actually, for me, I wasn't even looking. I went on their
You're
website.
like, you asked me.
Yeah. No, I went on their site and was like clicking around because I actually wanted to get a picture of the product, and then clicked on careers. I swear to God, this is what happened. And clicked on careers and started reading something through, and I'm like, oh shit, I do that.
Yeah.
Like, so my honest answer was, I truly was not looking, but I was on your website and saw this and thought, I think I could do this. So that's what happened with me.
And they were like, we think you can do it too. You're hired.
So this is another thing. This is going to be back to, I think we talked about brevity before.
Brevity,
that he was using the
yeah.
wrong words, but this is going to be exactly, they're going to say, why should we hire you? And just, you may be nervous. I know some people, they might be nervous for an interview. I know I'm always nervous. Some people are very calm. And
I told you I have sweaty palms.
Yeah,
right
just
now.
because we're doing this right now. And so they say, why should we hire you? So what I've learned is have 3 words in mind. And then speak off of them, like hardworking, committed, or think of 3 words that they would want to hire you. I'm gonna make you money.
I'm gonna make you lots of money. You're gonna pay me lots of money.
So yeah, there's no wrong words to that.
Yeah.
But just in the back of your mind, have those 3 words, and then
I'm
work
not
off
even
of those 3
interviewing
words.
anywhere, and you're making me so nervous.
I know, but this is what people need to know now. People, we have so many friends that are like wanting to step up and they want to have that higher position, or they haven't worked and they want to get that job. You have to stand out. There are so many people that are going to start looking here.
Self-motivated.
Okay, so the next one is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because I'm going to tell you why.
As your boss.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
I'm going to be your boss, and I'm going to be interviewing you. See if you're worth it. Making your palms
Are you worth
sweaty.
it? Let me work it.
I'm going to make your palms sweaty, knees weak, ma spaghetti. Okay, so can I just go off of this for a second?
Absolutely,
'Cause it reminded
please
me of
do.
something. So I'm so quick with shit like that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
right.
Okay, so I go to Starbucks today, and there's a pretty cute guy working there, and I'm married, but I'm not dead.
Which Starbucks?
I can't
Tell me
ya.
later. Tell me later.
So I'm totally not paying attention, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll take one of those. And he mumbled something, and I thought he asked me for my name, right? Because usually they ask you for your name. And I'm like, oh, my name's Cassandra. And he just looked at me. I go, oh, did you not ask for my name? And then I was like, oh God, he's really cute. And then he was like, well, I didn't, but now I'm glad I know it because I really like that name. So usually I would be like, well, thanks, I got it for my birthday. And I was just like, I'm really tired and I need coffee. I like coffee.
And ruined.
I just shoved my card in and I was like, thank you. Why? Why do I act so stupid?
Cute guys do that to me too. Don't
What the
worry.
hell? It's because no guys hit on me. Dude, I got carded for smokes the other day, and I was like, really? Oh, okay. And then this guy's talking to me like, hey, and he's probably not even flirting. He's just a nice person. But I'm like, oh, wow.
I had a really nice older man. I had my hair slicked back, whatever. I was doing some store walks, and I was behind the deli counter. And I turned around and a customer was standing there, and he was like, or he said, excuse me. And that's how I turned around.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh my God, you're really beautiful.
We're hot.
And I just kept because he was 94.
Yeah.
And I was like, thanks. How can I help you? And he was like, yeah.
Dude.
Can you get me? And then he was asking me, but it would make me feel so good.
He was like, if I wasn't 95, I would totally have a boner right now.
But no, I was just like, wow, I still got it. It just makes you feel good.
Remember when we were talking about the 7.5, and then you were like, and us, we're 9.5? Now I believe you.
Yeah. It's just so nice. So listen, if, all our listeners, just turn to the person that's next to you right now and give them a compliment.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful too. This is so fun. But I mean, because everyone needs them. It's so good.
know.
It doesn't matter
It
how
feels
old you
good.
are, how young
Yeah.
you are, you know,
Yeah.
how you're feeling for the day. You never know. It absolutely made my day. You know what I mean?
And like you said, even when people are rude to you and you think they have ugly ass shoes, be like, I really like those shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then play
Kill
the
them
game.
with kindness.
Yeah, if I would have
'em
turned
with
around, he would have been
kindness.
like, "Oh, you're ugly." I would have been like, "I love your shirt." Oh gosh. Okay, so I got 2 more
Anyways,
questions.
okay,
We'll just
okay.
prep everybody for
All
these,
right.
okay?
Couple
so
more.
tell me about a conflict you faced at work and how you dealt with it.
Well, Meredith, since you asked, I deal with shit ass customers every single day.
All right, so we're just going to bring this up. Please don't swear on your interview.
And although I want to kick them in the back of the knee, I kill them with kindness.
Perfect. I always find that one was hard because even though we laugh about all our
Right.
stories, I never find it to be like an issue or a conflict with someone.
You know what, generally with that question, I would be like, if I thought it was a conflict, I'm going to find a way to resolve it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I always
I'm
say
not very conflictual.
Yes, that was excellent. Did you get that calendar with the words, like the word of the day? That was excellent.
So you know what I mean? I just like, they want to be conflicting with me, but I'm
Right.
just like, oh, okay, no
Right.
problem. Let me take care of that for you. Here you go. Have a great day. You know?
I always use the example that I take the emotion out of everything.
Right.
So whether it's an email, a text, a phone call,
Right.
a face-to-face, I
Yep.
immediately tell them nothing's really a conflict because I feel like a conflict has emotion tied to
Right.
it. I take the emotion out of the conflict and then it's more like, how can we do this together to succeed?
Right.
So that's just
Yeah.
an example.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah,
I like
it is.
that.
Always take emotion out of a
Yeah.
conflict, out of an issue. You know, I get emails all the time where there's no greeting, there's no things. We talked about this.
Right.
It's just, we need it.
Yep.
You don't know what kind of day they're having. Just take
Yep.
the emotion out. They're probably walking through a store
Yep.
and they just need to let someone know
Or somebody's
this
honking
needs to get
at them.
fixed.
They're in the parking lot of
Yeah,
Starbucks and somebody's honking at them.
That was definitely a conflict, but no. I wouldn't bring that up on an interview.
God, yeah.
Then I walked outside and flipped the bitch off. No. So here's another one. What is your dream job? So
Oh, God.
before you answer, you always have to make sure. Well, not always. I mean, your dream job could be a singer, right, or a dancer, or whatever.
My
I mean,
dream job is to not have a job.
True. My dream job would be to be a professional lottery player because I already won millions. That's what I would say. No, you can tell them that you have a dream job. Just make sure that it kind of reflects what you're interviewing for.
Okay.
Like, let's just say we're in food. We're in
Okay.
food. So, oh my gosh, my passion has always been to be a chef, but I'm happy with what I'm interviewing for today,
Okay.
or I'm happy with what I'm doing now because
Yeah.
it does involve
Coincide.
food. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does involve food.
Yeah.
So something like that.
Yeah.
So you can always tell them what your dream job
You're like,
is.
I always wanted to be a millionaire, so I thought I'd come work for one. See what it was like.
Exactly. How much you gonna pay me? Yeah, right.
I need millions.
Here's another one. What do you expect out of your team and coworkers? So I would guess this is more of a manager question.
I was going to
managerial
say, yeah,
question?
like a leadership.
Yeah, I would think so. Mhm.
I would probably ask, I don't know if asking is the right word, but, you know, to make sure that all, I don't even know what words I'm looking for.
So if it's
I'm
a
so dumb
leadership-
right now.
It's because you didn't know I was going to do this. I wanted to throw you off and see what you
I know.
said.
I'm terrible at interviewing. How do I even have a job right now?
So if it's a leadership question, it's how you're going to reflect onto that team, right? So you're going to have to give some examples. So think of some examples
Okay.
that how, as a leader, how are you going to lead by example?
I'm going to lead by performing all tasks necessary and
Right.
leading.
Yeah, perfect. I would hire you.
I would lead them into those tasks.
If it's just that you're going to be on their team,
Right.
you want to give them some examples of how you're a team player.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So just that's fine. You're hired. Don't worry about what you're saying.
No leadership for you. You just follow along.
Yeah. So now we're going to go to when you get to the end and you're happy with all your questions because you listened to this episode
Yeah.
and you're prepared.
Yeah.
And they're going to ask at the end. Everybody asks at the end, what questions do you have for me? Right?
How much are you paying?
Right. So at the end of every interview, they say, what do you have for me? So you want to know what your typical day is going to look like.
Right.
Because you can always go back to that interview and say, here's what you told me.
You expected of me, and this is how I've performed those duties.
Right, exactly. You said
I can't
duties.
help it. Can't help it. Nobody works here, and he gave me 3 times the workload.
So first, you want to go through what they posted.
Yeah.
The job that they posted, the description.
Yeah.
Make sure. I mean, of course, there's going to be a couple lines in there that you're going to be like, ooh, don't know about that.
Yeah.
You're going to learn them.
Yeah.
But if 80% of the time, I'm just throwing out a percentage here, if you understand 80% of that
Of the
job description,
Yeah.
you're going to be okay.
Right.
Because 20% to learn is what we should do. We should
Right.
always be learning.
Always.
So you absolutely want to ask them, unless they've already kind of told you what the day was like.
Right.
But you want to know start to finish, what does my day look like, or what does my week look like, right?
What time do we clock out for lunch?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how long do I have for lunch? How many breaks do I get? Yeah,
Do
exactly.
I get any vacation time?
And then you also want to ask them, which I'm glad that I
day is
asked.
payday?
Yeah, what day is payday? Is it every Friday? Because I'm going to have to budget here if it's every 15th and 30th of the month. You're going to also want to ask them, if they don't mention it on your typical workday or week, what kind of projects are already lined up for the person that they're hiring.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to know what kind of projects, because if they start to get into it, and I had this happen where I mentioned a couple projects.
I've never had a job it's this important.
So make it important. Make it important. This is how you just really are gonna.
I think it's just my wittiness that has gotten me every job
and that's
I've ever
perfect
had.
because everyone hires a personality. You need personalities on your team. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so you want to. So you want to ask. So funny. You want to ask them what immediate projects are coming up. And like I said, this has happened before where I started to explain it and I had someone say, "Ooh, I think that's a little too intense for me." Like, I think they were already thinking this is going to take me a long time to learn. And so then they knew right away that they weren't project oriented. Yeah. They just kind of fly by the seat of their pants and they weren't, that kind of thing.
I work well under pressure, not that much pressure.
Yeah. Is this a new role created or has someone been in that role? Because you want to know. Now, they may not tell
what happened.
Yeah, what happened?
To the person?
What happened to the other 5 people in this role?
Did they walk out?
Yeah.
Did they just leave?
Are you going to kind of be on your own? Is anyone going to really know what
you're doing?
Does anybody
know what's expected of you?
And I think this is the number one question. Other people may disagree, but tell me about your training. How am I going to be trained for this role?
Nobody would ever get a job at the other place we worked at because they don't get any
But
training.
honestly, I know, yes, besides money, right? Besides salary, and we'll get into that here in just a second. But I think that is probably the number one question. How am I trained for this role?
Yeah.
Is there someone that I reach out to? Are there multiple people? Like for me, I did have one person.
Do you just expect me to know everything?
Yeah. Because sometimes
that's a good question.
I think it's the number one question.
Because they might be thinking, oh, this chick knows what she's doing. And you walk in like, I have no clue what I'm doing.
No, exactly. Yeah. So you may match up with that job description.
Yeah.
And wow, I've been doing that. But every job or every company does it differently.
Right.
You know? So, and you would hope that as you moved along, it was better, right?
Yeah.
So you're improving yourself as you go. Yeah. So they should be very open about what they're paying you. Yeah. But you should have a number in mind.
And I feel like, so this is what I have learned a little bit in my job hopping, is if it's listed online and so like Glassdoor and I think Indeed usually has a base and max salary.
Yes, right.
So, like you said, if you look at the job description, you're fairly certain you know how to do this job. You take that max and you add 10%, right? If they are insisting that you give them a number, if you can't say, well, I understand the job is this, and this, what is your base salary for that? They should be able to give you a number. And then you should always just add more.
Yeah.
You should add at least what you want. Don't say I want 60,000 when really you want 75 because if then you're not going to be happy.
So you can always come down, you can never go back up.
Right.
You can always come down.
This is really good too for I feel a lot of people right now have stuck with their jobs all through 2020, right? People have taken pay cuts. They've taken on more responsibility. Now is your time to go to your boss and say, look, this is what I bring to the table. You gave me all this extra responsibility. I'm looking to get paid this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even go apply at a couple other places and say, hey, look, I have an acceptance letter from somewhere else that's going to pay me $75,000 a year. But you know what? You can only do that once.
Yeah.
Like they're only going to do it once.
Right.
You can't go back in a year again, you know, and
say I did
well,
it
now I
again.
want 80,000
Yeah.
because they're going to be like, F you, you know,
Right.
you should ask for that the first time. But I think that if a company does do that for you, I think it shows how much they really do appreciate you, even though maybe sometimes you don't feel appreciated, you know? So,
and I know some companies are very good at budgeting and they know exactly what they can pay you so that they can keep your job and they can keep their business up and running.
Yeah.
That being said, and just to go off of what you just said, do your research, just like you said.
Yeah.
Have a number in mind.
Yeah.
Go look at other similar jobs, similar roles that mention the salary. So it's kind of hard. Sometimes you go and look at a job description and they say negotiable or they don't give you the salary.
Right.
They want to know what your worth is.
Right.
And you have to sell yourself, self-promote yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so do the research. I know a lot of people, they get so excited to get the interviews and then they just don't do the right research. And you can just tell that they're like kind of winging it. Don't wing it.
Don't wing it.
Know all the answers.
That's what I do.
Yeah. I've done that a couple. It didn't end well. It didn't end well. You know, on a couple of them, I just kind of was like, I got this. But then they go to ask a question. I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even know. Yeah. So just do the research, know what you know. And here's another thing. If you really don't know the answer, just tell them you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I can get back to you through an email on that or just mention, you know, that you can get back to them or that you just don't know.
Yeah.
But
I'm never scared to say I don't know.
I'm never scared either. I used to be, but now I'm not because if I don't know, I don't know.
I don't like asking for help more than once.
And let's remember this. They probably know the answers
exactly.
already. They just want to hear if you know the answer.
Right.
Yeah. So,
you know, people are, it used to be you could go anywhere and get a job, you know?
Yeah.
Say waitressing jobs were a dime a dozen. And although a lot of people, I'm doing air quotes, are hiring, I don't know. Are companies really that desperate? A lot of companies got those PPP loans. So that kept them running through the whole 2020. I feel like some not so great companies think, well, if we can show them that nobody wants to work, maybe they'll give us another loan and we just don't have to do anything, you know?
I was at a store the other day and I was listening to two women having a conversation. And the one woman was saying that her husband has been trying because he lost his job. And it sounds like he was probably pretty successful. I don't know if she was just saying that. I'm just going to go with he was probably pretty successful.
Yeah.
And I heard her say that he has a friend that works there and he applied for a job and the friend told him that 33 other people had already applied before him and it had just gone out that morning and he applied like around on his lunch break or something because he's doing like a part-time job right now.
That's crazy.
So there are people looking. But out of that 33, how many are serious about that role and how many are just throwing their resumes out there? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll have to do some research on that. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. I've heard of. So this brings me to a story that I just heard about that there's this small diner in this town and they were open all during quarantine. They talked all of their servers and cooks into working only for tips, right? Like, we're barely making it. We're only doing to-go orders. Like, you guys are just going to have to live off your tips. We can't afford to pay you. So somebody found out that they got over $300,000 in those PPP loans. Everybody quit in one day and said, screw you.
Wow.
And
why would you do that to the people that are showing up every day?
I don't get it. You know what I mean? So it's greed. We all know greed is this ugly thing in the world, and that's what makes the world stop turning. We need to stop being greedy.
What
you
a
know?
shame.
But yeah, totally. And I mean, they can't hide from it because all those PPP loans are public.
Yeah.
Like, it's public information.
Yeah. But unfortunately, people that have not heard about, like I wouldn't have heard about it.
Right.
And if I needed a job, I'd go over there and not know. And maybe they would talk me into just working for tips.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Doing whatever you can to survive through this shit going on,
Yeah.
Maybe
do your
unemployment
research.
wasn't enough. A lot of people were saying they got made, they made money on unemployment. It was more than what they were making working.
Oh, gosh.
Which was great.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people that collected unemployment this last year were people who worked retail jobs, waitressing jobs, bartending jobs that have paid into unemployment their whole lives and have never collected on it.
Yeah.
So I think that was wonderful.
Yeah.
But if you were out there taking advantage of it, shame on you.
Right. Exceptions. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Are you ready for your interview, people?
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Wait, no, I'm not interviewing.
We're not interviewing. We have jobs.
Well, that was
kept our
good.
jobs.
So we know how to drive a Peterbilt.
Yep.
Put the brake on.
Make sure you put the brake on.
Yeah. We know how to interview.
Yep.
What else did we talk about?
Car accidents.
And don't hit card corrals.
Don't run into anything with your car.
And if you have a black Corvette in the
Oh.
area.
With a Texas plate. Damn you. Almost killed all of us on the way over here. I forgot about it. Now I'm mad again.
All right, everybody. Go out there and get those jobs. Get
a
that
job.
promotion.
Yeah. Make sure you ask for lots of money. You're
Yeah.
worth it.
And put the brakes on. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by NameTag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Drums, written and performed by my son, Steven. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.